Yeah, I'll always be a metalhead. Nothing can take that away from me.
Right.
I mean, not jail, not people, not religion, not anything. I'll always be a metalhead, 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 metalhead. We do all right.
You're listening to the Great Metal Debate Podcast.
Welcome back, metalheads, to another episode of the Great Metal Debate Podcast. I'm Xander, and today we are going to be talking about one of my favorite symphonic black metal bands, Abhor, with their newest album, Sex, 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 Ceremonia Daemonis Anticristi, which was released on September 23rd through Iron Bonehead Productions. I have to specify that this is the black metal band Abhor from Italy, because there are two other black metal bands also called Abhor that are from Ireland and Ecuador. This group has been around since 1995, but did not release their first studio album until 1998. Since then, Abhor has built a rather impressive discography with a total of 7 full-length studio records under their bullet belts, which brings us to their new Unholy 8th album. One thing that I have always enjoyed about this band is the consistent and unyielding discography. They have never had a bad album. The organ symphonies played by Leonardo Lonnerbach are always present in nearly every single song, and the vocals are haunting. When you hear Ulfhedhnir's demonic vocals, you legitimately feel the presence of true evil. Not to compare him with Dagon from Inquisition, but both of those guys have a very similar impact when it comes to their dreadful, soul-penetrating vocal styles. Needless to say, I am a fan of both bands. Starting things off, we have The Curse of the Twins. Right away, I have to say that Leonardo is possibly the best organ player I have ever heard in any symphonic black metal band. There is so much talent within his fingers that produce so much beautiful music from the keyed instrument. This one is just a short intro track, but it is beautiful and it sounds like it is being played inside an actual cathedral. And then we have the album title track, Ceremonia Daemonis Anticristi. Just the first few seconds of the song has a riff that sounds only just slightly similar to an 80s heavy metal song, along with that signature opera-esque falsetto. The tempo quickly changes into a more aggressive and harsh black metal sound, complemented by those ghoulish raspy vocals. I also couldn't help but notice that the symphony sounded a lot like early Cradle of Filth. You really have to have the ear for metal to catch this, but if you listen closely, you can hear the song title being repeated a couple of times, each time with a low gurgle lyric over long-noted guitar strums. It has sort of that blackened Death Doom sound that is very reminiscent of bands like Archgoat. Just after the 4-minute and 10-second mark, you can hear chants from a Hell Priest and the other followers shouting, "Hail Satan," throughout the remaining 2 minutes of the 6-minute track. Moving on, we go to At the Edge of the Circle. The opening notes have that slow, doomy kind of riff, which is immediately followed by more calming classical music style organ playing, along with those cavernous screeches echoing from the mouth of hell. The windy guitar riff towards the middle of the song stands out and further complements the organ. Next we have a song called Ode to the Snake. It is truly ominous, and the voices you hear at the start are very difficult to make out, which makes it that much more creepy. The next track might be a little on the nose as far as lyrical themes go, but now we have Ritual Satanism. It is yet another stellar track that is sure to penetrate your black soul upon listening to this. Evil Mentor is yet another standout track on the album, as it is one of the first new songs released. The beginning of the song has an audio recording of a high priest in the Lebanon Satanic Church conjuring forth the Leviathan from the depths of the abyss. What follows immediately after is a very cavernous scream from Ulfhedhnir that will reverberate in your ears the second you hear them. There are also other sickly noises that he makes. I should also note that the bass guitar really stands out in this intro. Vassar does a great job of keeping pace with the slower drum beats, and it goes along with the organ like peanut butter and jelly. There is even a short-lived operatic part towards the middle of the song, and a small single-note guitar solo performed by Domain Sullivan Robin. Those of you Mystifier fans out there will be pleased to learn that Abhor has done an absolutely wonderful job of covering their beloved song Beelzebub with their new age of studio recording equipment and the sound mastering by Lucas Demon. I googled what happened on Halloween in 2010. The Haitian cholera outbreak was an epidemic that struck in that area the same time as Hurricane Thomas hit the Caribbean islands. This caused a death toll of 330 people. Why am I saying all of this? Because the title of the next song is October 31st, 2010. A real-life natural disaster is enough to help set an even more tragic and bleak tone to this already grim album. The bass lines help to give you that somber feeling. Of course, the music picks back up with the diabolical approach when it comes to the musical structure. There is even a choir after the second act of the song. The vocals toward the end of this track give off major Dagon from Inquisition vibes that will give you chills running down your spine. The song also ends with that haunting choir. The Call is a nice continuation to this album. It is yet another flawless song on a flawless album from a flawless band. And then we wrap things up with the final track, Violent Coven, which is just another short symphony that serves as the outro. I have absolutely nothing negative to say about this album, so needless to say, this one gets a solid 10 out of 10. It is more than well deserved. Unfortunately, Abhor only has some of their albums on Bandcamp, which makes it difficult for fans to support them to the fullest. They also don't have much of their discography on Amazon Music. I'm not sure about Spotify, but feel free to check. Hopefully they will have merch soon. You can follow them on social media and show them some love on all their internet platforms.